This episode of Obsessed Garage brought to you by Lay's Kettle Cooked Original.
Half air, half chips.
A Mormon favorite for over 10 years. So we got a total of 80 millimeters of adjustability. So if we're going to go half, we'll just split the difference and go 40. And then that'll give us a starting point, don't you think?
Yeah.
What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to use the lift and something to prop under here, and we'll just bump the lift down until we get the hole lined up and shove a bolt through it.
I mean, we can probably have two dudes push on it.
We can. If we can find two dudes. We got only...
Or
Oh,
three
wait,
weeks.
there's
Are you
some
ready? You ready to go in?
Dudes, that works. Oh,
Yeah.
where are we going?
Okay, so just kind of hold that like that, so it doesn't, so it's straight. I got the rock, the isolator.
Yeah, we're not gonna be able
No, that's why I say the lift is going to be where it's at, man.
Yeah.
Boys, baby. Is there a Pet Boys man?
So what are we gonna put on it? We can put one of those wheels under there.
Or you just have
Just
a,
look
do you have a
like those
4x4 sitting out in the area where the pallets are at, maybe?
Or something like that.
Don't you have like hockey pucks and stuff?
No, we need to keep it up in the air. We don't want to do it down low.
Oh,
Yeah, because you're not gonna be able to. You don't want to be crawling underneath that one.
Go ahead, down. I'll tell you when. Just go beyond it. It's not going to hurt anything. Hold it. Right there. Yeah, there we go. I never can. Don't mess up the thread. Or just here, Matt. Use the impact to spin it in. It's not into the start yet. I freaking draft on that fucking yeah. And go ahead and tighten it. One bunk it up. That's good. Alright. Okay.
Alright. Lift it up. Make sure it's still on the block.
Look at that. They just happen to line up where it goes.
Perfect.
I did that on purpose.
So you made that notch.
I did. I put that because I couldn't remember if it was an eccentric or not.
Yeah.
And if you want to make sure you put it right back where it goes.
Yeah.
If it is, it's not.
Well, that's way easier with a lift, man. I mean, I'm telling. There was aluminum falling on the ground. I'm freaking hammering on it, jacking on, jack up, jack down. All
Plus
by
you were
yourself.
by yourself.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah. Well, you want to do the end links? We can mark this and
Yeah.
get it the same place. I don't know. We can measure the center distance and get it close. How far you got to drive to get it aligned?
Hour and a half.
Oh.
I
Maybe
could
you
just
should.
do these later.
Yeah, I would, because you know what? If we get them too far off, you're going to wear the crap out of the inside of the tires.
And
They
then
can
we
do
walk-
that. They can do that there in like a half an hour.
Yeah, I do it myself on the darn alignment rack there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Maybe do that, because that way I don't have to worry about any
ripping up
alignment
the
issues.
tires. Yeah.
Palm. It would be better done here.
I'll
Though.
just come here, we'll do it on the second M3 on the
Yeah.
lift. It'll take half the time. As long as we don't do intake scoops.
You need to time rubber clean that. Dress it with some pearl.
Okay.
This is why you buy dining. I mean, even like the little thing against the body there.
Mm-hmm. It just keeps it from turning. Yeah. Yeah. It fits nice. That's good right there. Probably. Yeah. That's. We'll try to make that work. Yeah, that should work. And in fact, I think I can get this bolt in right now. Let's try. Now. You're gonna have to bump it. Hang on. Hit it. Keep going. No, keep going. That's good. Cool. That's done. That's the hard part.
Right,
Okay.
So there's the that we just did right there. Now we have to do the shock.
Link back on. The shock's done.
What did you have to do with the shock? You had to ram
We
it
had-
in there or something?
Well, because
You have to
it's
compress it in order
it's
to
too
get
short.
it. Yeah.
We had to compress the suspension up because the shock even fully extends too short to reach both.
Yeah.
With the suspension relaxed and the sway bar off and all that. So
No boot on there?
it does. It says Dinan shows it without now because their boot had the bump stop built in. So you would be hitting the bump stop prematurely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was thinking you had to take the shock out to get the bush to get that little bushing in there. Ah, okay.
just split and go over.
Okay, so it's not as bad as we're thinking.
No, we don't have to take it apart twice. We just got to put the bump stops on, even though. So Dinan needs to do this. They got 2 sets of instructions. One set of instructions doesn't say anything about bump stops. That's the one we used to put it together.
That was what came with the rear suspension component.
No, it came with the rear shock hardware kit.
Right.
So that doesn't mention bump stops anywhere in the step-by-step instructions. But then when you flip it over and look at the drawing in print down at the bottom, it says bump stop not shown for clarity.
Which we didn't.
But we went through all these steps to put it together. Nowhere does it say bump
So
stop.
where does the darn bump stop go?
On the shaft, on the shock shaft.
I
it goes
get
down
that.
Like this.
All the way at the bottom?
All the way, yeah, at the shock body. It sits on top of the shock body like that.
Yeah.
We screwed up because we didn't read the right instructions. I'm going to admit it right now.
Off and then I'll do the,
We were.
But it would be easier.
I'll take one for the team. It's my fault.
What's happening here?
I'm seeing if I can fish this nut out of here that Mike dropped.
Wedge down so far in there, you'll never get it out.
I made a little tool.
I'm thinking this right. So this goes here, like that. All right. And then once we compress, this will slide this up, the zip tie up here. And then we need to measure the distance between the zip tie and the bump stop, and it's supposed to be 0.88 inches.
Yeah.
So all we're gonna do is trim that off, and then
Is that bump stop all the way up there?
it's all the way up. Yeah, see? Yep, it's all the way up.
So when it
And then-
presses down, you'll see.
And it'll slide the zip tie up and leave it there, and then we'll know what the,
And then that gives us 0.88 inches of total travel.
which is what we'll do is, if it's off, we have to slide the bump stop down, put the Delron spacers in between the bump stop and this top, I guess, hat or
Yeah.
mount, whatever.
Yeah.
Slide them in there, and then that'll move the bump stop down to adjust that to 0.88 inches.
Make it nice. Yeah, and here's our bump stop.
There's our Delron spacers. So these would theoretically go in here. Slide these down. They're split. They slide over the shaft and then lower the bump stop. And the other thing too is we can also adjust it by ride height. If you want the ride height lower, we would adjust that first before we ever do this.
So yeah, first we're gonna get our height set.
Yep.
Alright, so put the trim back together in here.
If it turns, oh, it come out.
You need a wedge. You have a wedge?
Put the bolt in backwards.
Yeah.
Wedge that.
That should do.
Don't mind my fender.
Take this. Take these. Those have to come off.
Suspension off.
So how are we going to compress the spring? What was your idea for that?
I got spring compressors.
Oh, you do?
It's just dirty, man. You're good.
Wonder if we should read the instructions this time. What do you think, Brandon?
Probably good idea.
Yeah, that's no good.
So in the future, you leave the 3 bolts. You loosen the center, and it will slowly decompress the spring as it comes down. So you don't have to decompress it to take it off.
It only decompresses like that.
No,
Right here.
Now we need a 10 and a 22.
Sometimes you just break that with the impact.
You can't. You don't want to spin the rod. You need to spin the nut, unless you have the socket that is keyed, where you can put a. Doesn't matter. It's a 13. Here we go. All right. Now don't let it turn.
No.
There you go.
This off? Yeah. This. And then
All this.
Don't scratch the edge of it.
Make sure all these connections off for all the fabrics.
Get this one right here.
Felts.
Nothing's gonna fall.
We have to bang that thing off.
this has to come out.
Yeah.
So we can put this on.
It's just rattling.
So that's the next hard part.
I don't know if those are over. What's the order of?
Yeah, those are hanging. Yeah, don't take so long to save these washers. 10 or an 8?
Take this pan off here.
That's a 8, I think.
Oh.
So here's the OE sway bar.
Probably over there.
One's across. Whatever you call those, the sway bar fingers.
Sway bar bushings.
Sway bar bushings. I always have a hard time speaking intelligently when I'm on camera. I swear, when I'm not on camera, I'm really sharp. And then we're going to take off our control arms.
The cabinet?
Mark L.
That's cool.
Agree.
We got this sway bar on this on still.
Is it left from looking forward or from the seat?
Yeah.
There's the OE sway bar. And we're swapping it for the Dinan, which is up there.
Sweet. Where do the
Before you put the sway bar in, you should probably take the control arms out now that you got all the room. Right here. That's a little easier than,
yeah, by hand?
yep.
There's something.
Alright, so there's the, you'll have to show me the other one.
Very simple. So we marked the center point of the assembly. This comes down and lines up. But to get the right height, you take this. It's notched, right? So line it. So basically, that gives this alignment and the right height by using this.
Nice.
And then you screw it down and pinch it.
Alright, there we go. So we're gonna go press this out.
Yep.
In the diagram to figure out which part goes on where. And you got the bushing where the spring sits.
Yeah. We just put this guy in the middle
Yeah.
just for now. We'll have to do it once the car's on the ground.
Yeah, this is very, very different than other sleeve kits. You know, much, much more sophisticated.
It's totally custom, pretty much,
Yeah.
for what it is. What?
What's next? I don't know how far this bump stop's got to go
I
down.
don't
But
know either. It doesn't say. Home stop, and then we got the
another
isolator disc.
isolator disc.
Okay.
Then right.
What is this?
Street equals left, race equals right. And this is the left. You want a street setup, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we'll be eyeballing we'll be doing an eyeball alignment, but
Yeah.
just enough to get me down to PSI later.
Okay.
Okay.
Then
And you got the
this,
and then there's
and then
this.
this,
Yeah.
and then this when it's in the car.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it like this for now so we know the assembly.
Mhm.
Obviously this doesn't go on here. That goes on top of the car.
Or do you want to do it where I did it before with the clamp and I have to swap it over to the vise? I don't care.
All right. Well, we'll do the clamp.
I want you to do whatever you do.
All right. Clamp.
We're cheating here because we already did this. So this is the second one. Mike insisted that he wanted to put his good foot forward.
I just didn't want you to get any hate. So.
Not me.
Okay. I
I've been in this video at all.
I don't want to.
I'm gonna get plenty of hate for not doing any work.
Yeah, that's the one I used. Yeah.
When the work
Well,
is
it's
done,
either that one or
I'll
this
work all
one.
night.
It was this one.
Actually, I'm gonna give this to Bryce.
And there was two of them I used.
So we went and rented this kit.
This one doesn't fit. Right?
It really doesn't
Remember, I had
have
to use
the
the
sizes
short one
that we need,
first
but-
initially. There's a short one here.
Yep.
Yep. And then I
We have
transition
to
to the
press
second
the
one.
We
bushing
had to
out.
keep switching them basically.
That's alright, it ain't going nowhere.
No, I'm making sure you're not
Oh,
hitting
hit
your
my
arm
head
on
on it?
Spicy.
Huh? Spicy? Bottomed out again. Yep. Here, collapse it.
When I did finally let go of it.
How close are we? Pretty close.
You probably just stick it sideways
I
in the
think you
vise and
took
pull it out.
that.
Here we do.
Just stick it in that way.
This. Give me something to hit the center with.
We had the
I had a
that
socket, but
socket, yeah.
go get an impact socket. Like a 18.
Something so I don't hit the.
Yeah.
You mean the 18 we won't have?
Or the 19. 17.
Let's shoot the gap.
The black
This
one.
thing in a pin.
Keep going, keep going. One more. Yeah, down. Yeah.
Forget
Oh, never mind. Alright, so now we gotta do the operation on this again.
Yeah, well, looks like we got a little more.
Clean that with right cleaner. And then put the monoball. Solid bushing.
To replace this.
That's what we're replacing.
That one didn't come out so good. but
Well, it'll still do the job.
turn it to the big, keep going a bit.
Alright. Lightly used.
2 of 2.
Lightly used.
It's more for the complete
Bushings.
set. You got it.
Perfect for the track.
Get extra give. Fourth trip to AutoZone.
You're making that one and take it back.
I can't fit it in my car. Can't believe I have a Duralast battery in my BMW. That's what I can't get over. And then we're gonna have some whatever that janky brake fluid is.
Toast them.
All that high speed stopping I'm gonna be doing.
had it set up right.
Like, bro, why would you get some Brembos? You don't even go to the track.
You need those Brembos so you can stop fast for all the old ladies around here.
Yeah.
Stop right in front of you.
Used those Brembos earlier.
Yeah, you almost got us killed.
Rear-ended.
Yeah,
Those E39 M5 brakes.
died. There's your next title, buddy.
I
almost
went
killed
to
Matt
Florida.
Mormon in my
I went to,
M5.
I went to
Almost killed
Obsessed Garage.
Matt Mormon and his minions in my M5. The free laborers almost died.
That looks a lot prettier.
Yep.
Too bad we'll never see it again.
Yeah. Just gotta get it up in here, just sitting there. I'll get that air tool. Yeah. How many foot planes is that?
Yeah.
4 Uggaduggers.
Yeah.
2 Uggaduggas. It's a double Uggadugga. That's enough.
Yeah,
So right around
Triple
150
maybe.
foot-pounds.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know.
Split at the bottom.
See how it's got split?
Yeah.
You just pry it open, just pop it over like that.
That should be.
And the weld's here, so it's got to go on the outside.
Oh, look, can we put some bead maker on this?
Sure.
We could.
Or would OptiSeal be better for you?
You have OptiSeal?
Outside. These are different, right?
No, I
No.
gave it away.
No, there we go.
Over?
Let's see, it's got to go right here. So yes, over, and then over on that side.
Yep, I'm lined up here. I got it. Yep.
Oh, I got one nut on.
Make sure you got plenty of light.
You
Mike has
I'm
about.
gonna need cataract surgery after these freaking lights.
I can count Mike's nose hairs now.
Come on. I trimmed those yesterday.
Did you tell him to get 4 same washers?
I told him to get.
He'll get 1.
He's gonna get many.
Yeah,
He
he said he's
literally
gonna
will
get
get
He's
multiple.
getting extra.
He said he's gonna get multiple.
Oh, it's Brandon. He'll come back with 1. And it'll be the wrong size.
No, I gave him a sample. So we basically want that as low as possible at one point. Once we get the suspension all back together, just so it barely clears that boot.
Yeah, and I mean the end link will put it where it needs to go.
That's how you adjust the end link.
Yeah.
It's just
So now what do we want to, how aggressive I want to go?
Well, middle for now. I said middle hole.
Yeah. I'll never change it. And
Middle. Just go middle of the road anyway. You won't be happy with too soft or too extreme,
Me.
so just go middle.
I'm mediocre.
Oh, there you go.
I just like it because it's blue.
Yeah.
Matches the
Oh,
springs.
you know what we forgot to do?
What?
Coat it with bead maker.
Yeah.
He was just saying.
Oh, did he just say that?
You can still wipe it down. You're gonna have to wipe all the
You could
grease
get it.
off of it though.
No, bead maker penetrates the grease, goes straight for the paint.
Bead,
You don't understand.
maker longevity isn't very good though. It only lasts 2 months.
Right.
Cool.
Well, under
Throw
the
it up
car
every
though,
2
out of the
months,
elements, it
redust
could
it,
last
put-
We
10
put
years.
EXO on it. We put EXO on it.
All right.
C5
What are we waiting
on it.
for?
We're waiting for Brandon's washers.
We don't need those. We can start this other stuff.
We gotta lower the car though to do that.
Well, that's why we got this beautiful lift. We can go up and down. Let's roll.
All right.
I want to make sure you get the brakes done.
I just figured he's gonna be back in like 30 seconds.
He has the top hat on loose.
Gotta go this way,
Yeah.
either this way or 180 this way. It's the only way
Right.
it can go. So now we gotta see if it'll clear in here.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know what those are for then.
I don't know.
Maybe
Well,
if you don't
I
have the
think
strut bar.
Did this Dinan strut brakes come with new nuts, Matt?
Mm,
Because they're special. They got a shoulder on them to center the strut brace.
well,
Or
that's OE. The Stein strut brace is just the carbon.
So these are
seats.
the carbon.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So then those nuts should work fine. That's what's in there. For those.
I mean, they're the right thread, so.
Yep. And they have that shoulder to center this, so that's what I would use.
This is a 1.5 Uga no Dugga torque spec.
There you go. Yeah, that's good.
Back up for number 2.
Yeah, that was a two Uga Duggas.
Yeah, that was double ugga.
Alright.
And we need to do the EDC.
Well, I mean, we'll have to leave that open because we might have to jack with the alignment there.
You know what?
You have to torque.
You know what's beautiful on this, better than the 1M, is all you do is loosen the hats, and you don't have to. Remember how yesterday I had to loosen and drop the whole assembly down, and then I had to get in there with a ball of.
So all you do is loosen those top 3
And then you
nuts.
can give it camber. Or
So we have any idea where we're at? I got 2 cards.
no, we didn't mess with it. We'll just have to put the wheels on and eyeball it to the rears.
Yeah.
Trying to get rid of us.
Yep, that's my plan. I'll work you till you never come back. All right, so we followed the instructions, which we it seems to be follow the instructions when we shouldn't, and we don't follow the instructions when we should.
Yep, that's right.
And that's the way it goes. That's how real men do it.
So we initially had the collar set mid adjustment, which is what they said, but we did it and it was actually higher than stock.
Mm-hmm.
So now we went as low as it'll go. Hopefully we'll be at least 3/4 to a half inch lower than stock.
Yeah, we'll see. When it's sunk, then we'll have to do it again. Same thing in the front. So we have I backed off just a few on the front. All right, so we just set the height. Height's good. Now we need to get everything out of the way so we can roll it. But first we're going to zip tie the front, make sure the zip ties are correct in the rear so we can set our bump stop height. I'd never heard of this before, but it makes sense. So decide if we need to shim our bump stops to get optimum suspension travel. I forget, what was it? Too much travel is too floaty, too soft.
And not enough is going to be harsh.
Yeah. So there's our height.
Maybe a tiny bit.
Check the front. That's usually what scrubs the most.
Yeah, that actually came down like a quarter.
Yeah. Cool. Gosh, it's like 11/16.
I don't know what that is.
It's a 16th. I thought you were serious. So, it's 11 of those little lines.
That's what I do.
All right, so it's a 16th from 3/4. I say we call it good because you can't do anything unless we go higher. Do you want to go higher?
Because we can only go an eighth.
How many of those?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
About. It's half.
But that's because you were sitting in it.
Yeah.
And that makes a difference. I mean,
So now what?
A quarter inch.
well, you can do two things. We can change the ride height over here to compensate for you, the driver,
Right.
or leave it be.
Or are you gonna get it corner balanced and
I'm not corner balancing jack. It's
well,
stupid.
then we should
Do you want to make it so you're with you in the car, it's the same height?
Yeah. So I mean, just do like
A
3
thread.
or 4 turns. Yeah.
Just a thread probably will do it.
Yeah. Yep.
Unless you're worried about stance life parked in the parking lot being
What
perfect.
about, yeah. Anybody doing like an A/B comparison?
Right, with a
versus-
tape measure. Seems exactly how obsessed you are.
I'm gonna set up a tape measure and come
So some people put different wheels on the right than on the left. You ever
What?
see that at SEMA?
I have not seen that. What?
They'll do one set of wheels on the right side.
Oh,
and
you
the
mean
other
a
side
different
is-
style?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've seen different colors, not different styles yet.
All right, so we're gonna come up like thread, compensate for driver awesomeness, aka weight,
What about after you do the cleanse, Matt?
and I'll have to
You have to like
put a new zip tie on and test it. Zip tie
back
test.
down.
It's the same, 3/4, they're the same.
Yeah. So the only way to fix this is to go up.
So it said 0.88,
But it's
Yeah.
gonna settle a little bit.
so you're 130 thousandths of an inch too low in the rear,
Yeah.
according to them, but you're fine.
You're gonna have to.
The bump stops are going to get squished anyways and set. Probably they'll probably get a little bit squashed.
Spacers on, and it's gonna.
If you find it's riding too harsh, we can always change it.
Yep. I mean, you figure I'm used to rolling with like
No suspension travel.
yeah.
Stiff car.
and coilovers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is gonna be like a dream.
All right, so now we just need to clip the zip ties.
It's gonna be like a magic carpet ride in outer space. So we have to do a turn. What's the turn in the turn all about? Yeah, the turning to
We
full
have to
lock.
turn the
and-
wheel to full lock to make sure. See the boot, how it's almost touching the sway bar.
Yeah,
So you want this as low as we can go, without hitting the boot.
and then you torque down your.
Yeah, then you change the link the ends of the links according to.
But we can just do this, right?
Yeah. We can do it with the car. Yeah, absolutely.
Concept of the end
opposite
link is you
threads.
get your sway bar set where it needs to be, and then you want no tension. You want this to slide on. So we want to make sure it doesn't touch here. Oh, because you have the sway bar end link as short as it'll go.
No, it can go up. Well, the sway bar end link is almost as short as it go, and then we can use this other hole if we wanted to.
Well, because if you shorten the end link, then it would pull the sway bar up a little bit.
Right.
Okay, in case you ever do sway bar end links for aftermarket Dinan sway bar, notice end link goes on the back side, on the top, and on the back side on the bottom. Here. That makes sense? So back side on the bottom, or inside, yep. And then inside up on the top. Like that. Both sides. And there's our sway bar. That looks pretty. What happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor.